How to build the perfect baseball lineup using stats.
100 years, baseball teams have followed the same recipe for building a lineup. The leadoff hitter is the fastest player who can wreak havoc on the base path.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm pausing early. This is how I build a lineup. Okay, here, let me go into Notes app. Okay, here's how I would normally build my lineup. We got the leadoff hitter. I feel like the best way to do it is you go for speed and speed/contact, or you go for a guy that gets on base. OBP, and he can work the count. Okay, you need a guy who can work the count in the leadoff position, get some pitches out. But at the same time, if you have a guy who hits really well, makes a lot of contact, gets on base, who's really fast, that is another one. But most of the time, speed contact guys don't really exist. They don't really exist that much in the MLB. Like Chandler Simpson was one of the very few. Normally, if you're very fast, you kind of struggle at hitting. I don't know why that is, but it's just how it goes. You got Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's an example, speed contact guy, or just highest on base percentage, a guy who can work some walks. Next, two hitter. I like my two hitter being another high contact. So we're gonna go with best hitter on the team. I think the 2 and the 3 second best hitter on the team. These are kind of interchangeable though. You can get second best hitter at second. I know a lot. I feel like a lot of the time the third hitter is the best hitter, but I feel like it is pretty interchangeable. Then you got most power on the team, but most power on the team. And then if the best hitter on your team has the most power, then you go second most power. And if it's that you're second or third, then you go fourth most power, and so on. Then what do I do for 5? I don't even know. From there on, it's kind of whatever. You go like 5, another high power guy. Power hitter. Then you do like another guy, and then it's just next best hitter from there on. 9 is speed contact or worst hitter. I like having the second leadoff in my lineups. I'm just talking about like the MLB The Show, or just any lineup that I like come up with, it like any lineup in my head. I think speed contact as your 9 hitter to set up the top of the order is also another way to do it. I kind of like, that's my favorite way to go about things, but you could also just go worst hitter. That's my lineup. That's the way I would build a lineup. But let's see what this guy has to say. Let's see what this dude, if I should be doing things different.
The 3-hole hitter has historically thought to be your best hitter. 4th is going to be the big bopper who's looking to come up with the bases loaded. And the 9th is going to be your worst hitter, or the pitcher back when they used to hit in the NL. But what if I told you we've been doing it wrong this whole time? Analytics say the traditional batting order is inefficient.
I think that where he's going to go with this is he's going to go on base, good hitter, highest average. Then he's going to do the same thing over and over again. That's where I see a lot of people talking about, like, you should be setting up your lineup again and again. Like, you go 1 through 4, 1 through 4, and then your worst hitter at the end. The 4 spot, I feel like this guy's going to say mathematically the 4 spot is for your contact. I'm going to be honest. I think
that there's a smarter, more run maximizing way to arrange your hitters. In this video, we're using WOBA, OBP, and RE24 to challenge baseball's traditional lineup construction.
I don't even know what WOBA, a weighted on-base average. I'm assuming that's what that means. RE24, no idea what that means, bro. Call me a casual. I've never really gone into the in-depth analytics further than OPS and WAR. I don't know, bro. What is weighted? Yeah, I was right on that. It's an advanced statistic that measures your overall offensive value by assigning more accurate run values to different outcomes, like singles, walks, home runs, rather than treating all. Interesting. Oh, so okay, no, that makes sense. I thought it was saying, like, I thought it was talking about different moments in the game, like if it was a clutch moment or not. It's just saying that a single and a home run aren't the same type of on base shit. But I mean, I guess it's just on base average.
Construction and build the perfect modern batting order. If you're a casual fan, you might just think batting order is about the vibes. After all, everybody is going to get that at bat eventually, right? Wrong. The top of the lineup comes up to the plate significantly more over the course of a full season than the bottom of the lineup. In Major League Baseball, the leadoff spot gets around 750 plate appearances over the course of a season. The 9-hole might only get 630 to 650. That's potentially over 100 additional plate appearances for the top.
That is pretty crazy. Honestly, I'm down with just putting your best hitter in at the 1 so he gets more at bats. But he also doesn't get like RBI chances. He's gonna come up in big moments. Comes up with nobody on base a lot. That's why Bobby Witt had such a low RBI.
Of your order as compared to the bottom. That means who you put at the top has a real impact on your run production, because they are coming up to the plate much more frequently. So, if you're placing your best hitter third, he's actually coming up to the plate a little bit less than he could. Let's
That's where
start
you
by
go,
laying the
too.
groundwork with the metrics that help us analyze a lineup's efficiency. First, we have on-base percentage, a pretty simple calculation that measures how often a player gets on base. Key for your table setters. You can thank the Moneyball era for helping shed the importance on this stat for lineup optimization.
Brad Pitt.
Then, we can utilize a stat like WOBA. Think of it as an upgraded OBP. It gives proper weights to walks, singles, doubles, and home runs. And if you're unfamiliar with this stat, check out our video on that subject on screen now.
So is he gonna say that on base percentage should be the number one hitter, and then your highest WOBA should be 2 since you get on base a lot, and it's in higher, like more home runs or whatever, and then the third hitter is your best hitter, or maybe it'll be us. I don't know.
Then we have RE24, or Run Expectancy 24, which measures how many runs are created or lost based on specific in-game situations.
What, dude? This RE24 sounds like a horror video game, bro. What even is this shit? I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of this stat. I've never heard of this stat in the years that in the however many years that I've played and watched baseball. I've never heard of RE24.
For example, men on first and third with 1 out. You can then use this tool to see who comes up most frequently in high leverage situations. These ideas aren't theoretical. They're used by real front offices.
Yeah, but that's just a
to build
luck. That's just a luck stat, bro. There's no such thing as being clutch and being well. There is such thing as being clutch, but like coming up in different situations and getting outs or getting hits, it's really just luck at that point. I think personally, like if your batting average is 300, 3 out of 10 of those times you get a hit in that situation, but the other 7, if you come up a bunch of times and those are all in those set 7 that you don't get hits, are you a bad hitter? Are you not clutch? No, you're not. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Order batting orders. Let's talk about how. Starting with RE24. You want your best hitters up more often, yes, but also in the most valuable situations. That's where RE24, run expectancy based on 24 base out states, comes in. All this is a chart that shows us how many runs are expected to score during an inning in which a specific circumstance occurs at any point during that inning.
Wow, bro. Dude, I knew this game was very mathematically advanced more than probably any sport in the world. Just because of all the crazy stats. But this honestly is crazy, bro. How many runs by each hit? It depends. With 2 outs of a single, the odds of getting a run is 216. A single. Wait, what is this? Oh, hitting a single double, getting on first, second, and third with no outs is almost a 2. Oh, it's over a 2,000 average that you get hits. I mean, it's almost impossible. You can hit the ball anywhere, dude. This is pretty crazy. So I wonder if it's like just getting people on base for the four.
Oh, that's kind of confusing. Let me dive deeper.
I don't know.
By using the values given to us in the RE24 matrix, you can then compare how frequently a batter successfully adds to a team's run scoring potential through his at-bats, as well as see which position in the lineup comes up most frequently with those higher run producing moments.
I was saying this
The reason it's called RE24 is because the combination of outs in base runner states equate to a matrix that is 3 by 8, or 24 total states. You can see on the chart here the different run values for each situation. For example, a runner on first with no outs has a .831 expected runs. If a player hits a single and moves that player around to third base, making the new base out state first and third with no outs, our run expectancy shoots up to 1.798, an increase of 0.967, which is almost 1 full run.
Dude, the fact that having no runners on with no outs, hitting a home, this would mean hitting a home run, no? You have no runners on, your odds to score. That seems like a lot. That means like 1 out of 10 times with 2 outs, someone hits a home run.
However, if that same batter grounds into a double play from that original situation, the base
that can't be right. That must mean that with nobody out, your odds to score are just that low. Okay, no, I'm wrong.
State is now no one on in 2 outs, which is 0.095 on our RE24 chart, a decrease of negative 0.736 runs. This is the same idea that goes into the values produced in stats like WOBA, weighted runs created, or weighted runs above average. How much does a certain outcome improve our team's expected ability to score more runs? Better hitters will help create better expected outcomes. You can use RE24 to answer the question of, did this player add value in this moment or lose it? And you can take this all a step further to see which lineup positions come up most frequently with higher leverage situations, and look to line up your best hitters there. Now taking a look at your traditional 3-hole is your best hitter standpoint. The old school approach
2 is
says,
better.
put your
I think 2 is better. That's what everyone started to do.
best hitter third, so he gets a shot with men on base. But statistically, that may not be optimal. The 3-hole often comes up in the first inning with 2 outs and nobody on. It actually has fewer opportunities with runners on base than the second spot, and meanwhile, the cleanup hitter often bats with the bases empty in the second inning. So if your best hitter is hitting third, you may be limiting their value. Now this is a little bit in a vacuum, but here's a modern sabermetric approach to optimizing your batting order. Your number one...
You know, I was thinking about this in like an MLB The Show standpoint, where I wonder if this could help my MLB The Show team be better and create a better lineup, but I really don't think the stats matter on those cards, so it doesn't really matter. Like my averages and shit wouldn't pass over, I don't think, because I'm batting as the same person every time. It's all me.
Hitter should be your best on-base guy. Doesn't necessarily need to be the fastest. You could think Juan Soto or Freddie Freeman, not 2006 Juan Pierre. Getting on base in front of your sluggers is the goal. You're looking for a guy who will get on base at nearly a 50% clip any way that they can. Think 450 OBP or above. Your 2-hole is going to be your best overall hitter. Yeah, your best hitter should go second.
2 for 2, chat.
They come to the plate more often than the 3-hole.
What I say, bro?
And get nearly as many RBI chances. Your example is that the Dodgers often bat Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani here for this exact reason.
That's cap. Shohei always hits first.
3-hole should be your next best hitter, not necessarily a slugger. You're thinking good contact, solid OBP, and some slug. This guy cleans up what 1 and 2...
Dude, 3 for 3, next best hitter. I think I put those words: highest on base percentage, best hitter on the team, second best hitter on the team. Come on, give me the more power.
Create, but doesn't need to be the big bat. 4 is your best power hitter.
Oh my God,
slugger.
4 for 4.
Have some swing and miss. But
4 for 4.
You are looking for very.
I'm so far, and then I think it's going to be the next one is the second highest power.
This is one that traditional lineup construction more or less got correct.
I think he might say it again. I think he might go back to highest OBP after.
Even if it wasn't for the same reasons as teams do this now. You can think Matt Olson, Kyle Schwarber, or Pete Alonso. Your 5 and 6 holes,
Kyle Schwarber's a leadoff hitter, so this argument doesn't really make much sense.
You can think protection and production. In the 5-hole, it's best for that hitter to put the ball in play frequently. If 1 through 4 are doing their jobs, you hope that the 5-hole is coming up with.
I kind of got this right. But I was wrong with another power hitter. But next best hitter, low key not
runners
wrong.
In scoring position frequently. Then 6 will then be your next available best hitter. That brings us to 7, 8, 9. Your worst hitters are going to go last. But your 9 spot matters too. With no pitcher batting in the AL or the University
9 hitter, speed, contact, bro. I'm telling you.
Era, this spot can set the table for the top. Some teams will even place a second leadoff type hitter here to loop that up to the top of the lineup.
I mean, I don't know why I did that sound effect, but bro, did I make this video?
But in general,
shit, I could have told you that, bro.
Will go in order 7, 8, and then 9. But here's the thing. Your best hitter might not always be the same best hitter that you had yesterday. Baseball isn't played.
Platoon. I think this is why the Brewers are so good. They don't have the best hitters in the league. They do have some really good hitters, but they consistently change their lineup every single day because they don't have the most best players on the team, like players that need to start every single day. So they have so much workaround, and they could like throw some random guy that you've never heard of that came from some random team, but he happens to be really good against certain lefties, and you throw him in there and he goes crazy against the lefties, but then you pull him out whenever a righty's in. I mean, that's just platoon basics, but for some reason the Brewers are really good, bro.
In a vacuum, it's played against matchups. So let's say you have player A, who hits 320 with a 400 OBP versus righties, but struggles bad against lefties. And player B is just okay overall, but he's your best hitter against left-handed pitching across all statistics. If you're facing a lefty starter tonight, player B may be your best option, maybe even hitting second or third. And that's just the beginning. MLB teams can go even deeper using pitch type splits, who handles sliders, changeups, or high velocity as compared to what pitcher will be throwing that day. You can also look at pitcher-specific history. Some players just see certain pitchers better, and Major League Baseball has the luxury of having some historical information on how their hitters have fared against a...
Which is also another thing, dude.
opposing pitchers. Then there's also spray charts and pitcher tendencies.
Sometimes you just see a pitcher really well, man, and then sometimes you can't hit a pitcher at all.
Optimizing your players' ball and play tendencies to help maximize what your hitters do best against a certain.
I wonder what the spray chart, what that has to go into it. Spray chart pitcher tendencies. Maybe like someone hits really good inside pitches and the guy really struggles at like hanging pitches in that area. I don't know if that's what he's talking about. Or a pitcher gives up a lot of damage to the right side of the field and you have a guy who's a lefty who's like a pull hitter. I don't know, bro.
Pitcher. The bottom line, in the big leagues, the best lineup isn't static. It's a daily optimization puzzle.
Which is why, dude, this is what the Brewers do. The Brewers change their lineup every single day. That's why people get like that. Like having a good team like the Dodgers is just kind of OP. But when you're able to switch everything around and maybe they're not the best players, like that's literally how every single small market team should be moving against like teams like the Dodgers. Is just getting a bunch of players you can just platoon all the time. I don't know, bro, because the Brewers are very good at it, and same thing with the Rays. The Rays are also good.
Which leads us to platooning. Platooning isn't just about batting order, it's also about who's in the lineup at all. Your classic example
And the Guardians
is a left-handed batter with bad splits against left-handed pitchers, paired with a right-handed hitter who mashes lefties but isn't great against righties. By rotating them based on the opposing pitcher, you get the value of one good offensive player whose combined production is.
You know what I think would be funny is being a coach of like a little league team, having whoever runs like whatever game changer, whatever it is, going into like advanced stats and like coming up with the best possible lineup for like a little league team and just dominate every single team that you play.
Better than each on their own. Teams like the Rays, Giants, and Athletics have built entire rosters around platoon.
Yeah, but the Giants are ass.
Advantage. They don't ask who are my best 9 players overall. They ask who are my best 9 against.
I can't believe you wouldn't put the Brewers and the Guardians.
This specific pitcher today. This is why strict batting order rules fall apart in modern baseball. Flexibility equals runs. Teams that have used optimized lineups, yes, there are softwares built for this, gain 5 to 15 extra runs per season. That might not sound like
That's
much,
crazy.
but over 162 games, 5 runs can equal a full win. Sometimes the difference between a playoff spot and an early offseason.
That is
And we've
true.
mentioned this already a couple times in this video, but smart teams aren't just aware of this, they're already doing it.
Let's see.
The Dodgers often hit their best players first and second.
Like the Cubs hit Kyle Tucker in second all year last year. Them and Seiya went second. I'm trying to think like who else is really smart with their plays. Like the Brewers. I don't know.
The Yankees moved up Aaron Judge to the 2-hole to maximize his plate appearances. And the Rays and Blue Jays routinely experiment with lineups to squeeze out every run possible. This isn't theory, it's how contenders think. Because every single decision a team can make could be the difference between a championship or stranding the winning run on third base in an elimination playoff game. If you want to go even deeper into advanced player data, check out Pitch Logic.
That is interesting, bro. That is actually interesting. That's a good video. And I did pretty well. My lineup was almost, I think I missed on, the only thing I missed on was like the 5-hitter, but I mean, I was pretty correct there. I thought he was going to go way more in depth and like say some crazy shit about how contact hitters should be hitting fourth. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to click up here in like 2 seconds. Make sure to subscribe right here or right here in like a second. And then if you like the video, click the next video right here.